Hi everyone, it's Danielle. I'm going to be doing a rules overview of how to play Picky Pixie by Elizabeth Hargrave. This is a button shy game and I'm excited to show you how to play. This is a game for 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, and takes about 30 minutes to play. So we have 16 flower cards. These are the flower cards. They are double-sided with different flowers on each of those as well. You'll notice they're kind of separated into each group. All right. And then we have a yes/no Pixie card, and we have a reference card as well. So how to play. This is a very easy game to play, so hopefully this won't be too long of a video. But basically, as part of the setup, you're going to shuffle up the 16 flower cards. So I'll go ahead and shuffle up. Choose one player to be the first round's Pixie, and then you'll get them the Pixie card and a reference card. So I'll put the first player card here and a reference card here. And I'm going to just move this a little bit here. And I'll put the deck here. Okay. So this is where the Pixie card player would be. We'll have the Pixie card and a reference card. We're going to be playing the standard level, but there are 3 levels, standard, advanced, or expert. But again, we are playing the standard level. So during the game, each round, a different player plays as the Pixie. If there are 2 players, you see the 2-player rules. So there are 2-player rules that you have to look at. And the Pixie chooses a secret rule to describe what flowers they will eat. And the other players offer flowers and try to guess that rule. So the first thing to do, you have to make a flower rule. So the Pixie person will create a rule. So they're going to draw 2 cards. Between these 2 cards, they're going to come up with a rule that only one of these cards would fulfill. So an example of this would be, let's see what those flowers are called, trumpets. So maybe the rule is Pixie will eat at least 4 trumpets. There are certain keywords you have to keep in mind. So in the standard game, the rule must consist of exactly 2 parts, an amount and a category. The amount must start with at least, less than, odd number of, or even number of. These categories are listed on the reference card here. So you'll see here, you have to use these categories. At least, less than, even, odd. Okay. So knowing that, I'm looking at these cards. Potentially, I can do a rule that says at least 4 yellow flowers. So I could say at least 4 yellow flowers. This card would be complying with that rule. This card would not. Or I could say at least 4 trumpets. There's 4 trumpet flowers here. This one only has 1. So this would comply, this would not. Another rule I could do is at least 1 violet flower, like this. So I could come up with any type of rule that I want, but both cards cannot meet that rule. So I think to put it simply, I'll write down, you will need to write this down so that you can't change it or forget about it. I'll write at least 4 yellow flowers. And that should be a pretty easy rule for someone to remember. So I'll kind of put that there. You may not be able to read it, but I can. And so the yes side will show what's on the rule. So yes, at least 4 yellow flowers. No will be that. And I was focusing on the bigger group of flowers. I could have focused on the smaller one if I wanted to. Okay, so now if you're going to so now you're going to have the next player draw a card from the flower. So you're going to draw 1. And they're going to offer one of these groups. Okay? So basically starting with the player to the left of the Pixie and moving clockwise around the table, non-Pixie players take turns drawing a card, choosing one of the flower groups on that card and offering that flower group to the Pixie. The Pixie must add the offered flower group to the yes or no side, tucking the card so only that flower group is visible. After an offer has been made and the Pixie has been tucked to the yes or no side, any player may call for a guess. maximum of 1 guess per offer. So say this person guesses with this card, offers, and I will put it on the no because it does not comply. So they would have chosen this group, and I now say no. Pixie will not eat it because my rule is at least 4 yellow flowers, and this does not have 4 yellow flowers. And knowing that, they may want to guess because they have these clues that both these cards don't have the rule complied with, and then this one does. So if they were able to successfully guess, that's a good thing. If not, then they would just keep going. But anyway, every time there's a guess, I take a card from the deck, and that's how many points I'll be getting. I'll get 2 points per card that I get after somebody guesses. So that's how the points work. So specifically, the Pixie would take a card from the deck and places it below the Pixie card to track the number of guesses. At the end of the round, they will score 2 points for each guess. Each player simultaneously or secretly writes down their guess of the flower rule. So you'll need some pieces of paper to do this, or maybe you'll have your phones out or something to type it in somewhere. Players reveal the guesses to the group. The Pixie tells the group if each guess is correct or incorrect. If anyone guesses correctly, or there are fewer than 2 cards in the deck, the round ends. And otherwise, the round continues, and the next player takes their turn offering flowers. So say the person didn't want to guess, or they guessed and it was a wrong guess, the next player will try. So they draw this card, and I'm going to put it in the no section. They attempted to offer this side of the card. So no, this does not comply. They're not going to bother guessing, so the next person will just go. And yeah, it's just going to continue like this. Say they chose this pink flower, and I say, nope, that's not part of the rule. So it's going on the no side. And say they attempt to guess. I'll get another card. And say they get it right. Say they say, oh, the rule is that they have 4. Because at this point, if the rule was at least 1 of these flowers, this would have been met. If this said at least 1 trumpet, this and this would have been meeting that rule. If I said at least 1 rose, this and this would have been the one to fulfill that. And if it was at least 1 of this flower, then it would have done that. So I think, say somebody guesses that the rule is at least 4 yellow flowers. The round ends, I would get 4 points. All right. So you'll begin the next round by shuffling together the flower cards to form a new deck and give the Pixie and reference cards to that next round's Pixie. But something to keep in note, that if the rule actually was too hard and it was not guessed, the Pixie doesn't score any points. So you do want it to be easy enough so that you get some guesses in, but you also get it guessed correctly before this deck runs out. Because the end of the round can actually end when there's no more cards to be drawn. Okay. That's pretty much a quick overview of how to play Picky Pixie. I really find this to be an adorable looking game. The art is very nice. The flowers are beautifully drawn. And I really find the interaction between, guessing, the secret. I think that's a very interesting aspect to this button shy game. Let me know what you guys think. Would you play this with your friends? I would love to hear your thoughts. All right. Well, I'll leave it at that. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, subscribe is always appreciated. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.